today we're working on a Samsung Galaxy S10e. It's getting a battery replacement. So what we're going to be doing is getting that cover off and doing the battery replacement for that. To get started, what you need to do is just take a heat gun, get it heated up, and you're going to keep that heat moving around the edges as much as possible, because when you're getting around here, you do not want to end up cracking it, because this is a weak point. These two right here around that camera lens. Let's get this going. Well, you notice what I'm doing right here is I keep touching it. Every once in a while I just go around and I put my fingers there. I'm trying to find it when it feels hot to the touch. Okay, at least on that side it's nice and warm. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that suction cup here. There's two ways to do this actually. I prefer to use a blade, but I'm going to show you the safe way first. The safe way isn't even working. So take the way that I'm used to doing it. And take a blade, stick it on underneath, and then you lift. Very lightly. Like you're putting very little pressure in there. Just barely enough to get a drop of alcohol in there. And if you put it underneath too far, you will crack the glass. All you're trying to do is just make a bit of a gap so that the alcohol can seep underneath. I've already got my nail under. Let's move on. We got these plastic cards. You can get these off of Amazon for like $5. You can get them very, very inexpensive. There we go. It's on in there. Now at this point in time, although I've got it underneath there, I want some more heat. It's cooled down. Don't even need that anymore, that little suction cup. Okay, we're going to drop some alcohol on in. Don't need to be a lot, just a little. And then you're just going to move it up and down, side to side, until that alcohol is nicely mixed in. And you can see it's going in pretty easy. Don't be really rough with this. What I'm doing is I'm just going, the moment I start feeling a lot of tension going in there, a lot of pressure or resistance I should say, I'm just pulling along the edges until it's all the way out. Then I'm trying again until it's all loosened itself up. Alcohol is at 99% is what I'm using, 99.9 actually, but 90% would do it. 99% is optimal. You go for 99.9, which is what I've got, and it starts to burn your fingers. It's not nice. So we got that side done, which is great. That bottom bit there is the danger zone. You want to get these sides done first, and then you can march on over to the bottom last. Nice and warm and toasty. Let's put a drop of alcohol on down again. You really don't need much in there. Like you can see there's only maybe like 1/8 of an inch, couple of millimeters just poking on through there. Maybe not even 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/16 of an inch. More alcohol. The phone is thirsty. All right, we're at the bottom. Danger zone. We're going to heat this bit up. Do not put heat directly on the camera. All right. Slightly burny feeling. Very good. And you're just wiggling it back and forth. You want to be very careful around here because this spot can break. Be careful. There we have it. So we got some screws that we got to take out. They are all Phillips. They're all Phillips or PH 000s. That's what they are. PH 000s. I'm going to take all those screws out. We got to get this out, pull the whole section out, and go from there. All these screws are exactly the same size, so you don't need to worry about getting them in the right position. At least for this particular Samsung phone. I know that there is some that have slightly different screws. Maybe just one that is slightly longer than the others, but it's pretty rare. Usually they are all exactly the same size. Now with all that out, what you're going to want to do first, separate this off. Maybe I can leave it in place. Let's see. Sometimes I find it easier to leave it all in place, but that came off really cleanly. Some of them are really hard to get out. Just going to put it off to the side. There's your battery. Disconnect that power immediately. And all I got to do is just put a little bit of alcohol into there. I like to put it into one of these corners up here, and then you just let it drizzle on down. Now there's a few different tools that you can use for this. I tend to use like one of these, or these, and then I combine it with these guys here just to get it on started. You let it soak for a bit, but there's a few different ways. Like I usually just pull it up slightly, and then I hold it there for a little while. As you hold it, the alcohol seeps underneath that tiny gap that it's made. See? There we go. Came away so easily. Didn't even need to use these. Some batteries, they have it stuck right in the center. Be careful about this section. That's the back of the screen as far as I know. Next, we're going to use our glue remover to get that adhesive out. If it doesn't come out right now, it may be that you just need to let it dry a bit more. Get that alcohol just to dry off. Now, if you are using one of these adhesive removers, do be careful to not let this go and touch that screen. So at this point, it looks like I got to let it dry for a bit. So we're going to do that. Let it dry. All right, we've let it dry a bit longer. Let's just see if that was enough. There we go. Now onto the battery. At least the batteries that I buy, there's always pre-installed adhesive, which is great. But if they don't, what you're going to need to use is some strips of adhesive that you can buy online. You just look for double-sided adhesive. Now before you toss this battery on in, you do need to test, make sure that it is doing what it is supposed to be doing. So let's do that first. Now you're pulling the cable on down first. You got to make sure that it's lined up correctly. Now, if you want to test this fully and you want to turn it on, you do generally need to put this back on. If you don't, usually the power button refuses to turn on, which is a pain. So let's just make sure it does in fact turn on and that it is happy. There we go. There we have it. It's on, it's happy, it's working. Let's get that adhesive protection tape off. We'll disconnect her, finish this job off. If it's not sitting flush, just make sure that all the notches are in their proper place. It should be flush. There shouldn't be any big bumps. And the screws should hold down the rest. We're all done there. Now this still has enough adhesive that I can just reuse what's already there, but in the case that the adhesive has been destroyed, I would recommend using a rubberized kind of glue to go and put that in. And it is a pain to get this cleaned off. You'll be ending up using the glue remover, that tool right there, trying to get rid of all that glue. And this is glue, like this isn't adhesive, this stuff's glue. So I'm going to be putting this back in place, but I'm not just going to put it back in place, I'm also going to heat it up. Should be enough. Push her on down, make sure it's nice and happy and firm on in there. Very good. And that's it. Samsung Galaxy S10e battery replacement complete. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. See you guys all in another video. Bye.